Hey everyone, Glenn Andrews here from glennandrews.net. Here's a property analysis worksheet. I'm going to walk you through this, but if you want, you can go to the link that's below here in the description section below this video, and you can copy and paste this property analysis worksheet to a Word doc, and you can use it to analyze all your properties. Okay, what this property analysis worksheet does is it helps you analyze the property, all the numbers that are involved in the buying and fixing and holding, and to analyze and make sure that you're going to be profitable on this property. So what we want to do here is I'm going to walk you through this real quick with a hypothetical situation. Let's just say that we have a property that's worth $250,000. Okay, that's the retail value. That's what it's going to be worth after we fix it up and we put it on the market. We've done our analysis and this is what we've determined. We're also going to say that we're going to be using hard money on this property to purchase it. So we're going to be paying 70 cents on the dollar, and we're going to be paying 1 point up front to our hard money lender and 15% interest for 6 months. Okay, so if we take $250,000 times that by 70%, we come up with a purchase price of $175,000. Okay, so I put that right here. Okay, we're not buying subject to, so there's no reinstatement mortgage here or cash to seller. If you were buying subject to, this is a whole different, I could show you exactly how to do this with this sheet, reinstating the mortgage and what's going to go to the seller, if anything. Okay, so let's just stick to this, closing costs and title insurance. Okay, what I did with this is I just took 3% of the purchase price. Okay, so that's going to be relatively close. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to give me a good idea of what the closing cost, title insurance is going to be. I try to get the, when I'm buying a property, I try to get the seller to pay for title insurance, but that doesn't always work when you're trying to get a bargain property. Okay, so we said private lender points. Okay, I said that we were going to pay our private lender or our hard money lender 1 point up front. So 1% of 175,000 is $1,750. Okay, we put that here. And then we have our property insurance. If we're paying for property insurance at the closing, which in most cases we will, I'm going to pay for it for the year, so I'm paying $1,200. Okay, depending upon where you live, you'll just have to put your own numbers in here. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to total this all up, and here's what this comes out to. $8,200 is our total buying costs here. So then we're going to go down to our fix-up costs, and let's just say our exterior repairs are $4,800. Our interior repairs are $7,000. And then I always add in a fudge factor. If my fix-up costs are less than $20,000, I'll put in a 5% fudge factor. If they're over $20,000 to $25,000, I'm going to put in 10%. Okay, just because I always know that there's going to be something that shows up when I'm rehabbing a property that I didn't actually take into consideration for, and it's always going to cost me more. Okay, so I add all these up and I come up with $12,390. Okay, so then we come down to our actual holding costs. Okay, so we don't have any mortgage payments. The taxes and stuff that we paid are prorated, so we paid those when we bought the property, and then we'll pay those when we sell the property. So they're going to go in the buying costs and they'll go later in the selling costs. Okay, so we don't have to put them in here right now. If you're holding this property long term, here's where you would put the property taxes per month and your insurance monthly. But we are going to have utility costs, right? Okay, so we get to take into consideration what that's going to cost us. I'm just going to use a round figure. Let's just say $200 a month is what I'm going to take into consideration for what it's going to cost me each month to hold this property. I'm also going to times that by 6 months. I'm going to say, worst case scenario, that I'm going to fix this property up and sell it within 6 months. So I want to know, I'm going to take this $200 per month and times it by 6 months, and then I'm going to get to $1,200. Same with lawn care. Usually, depending upon where you live, it's usually $25, $35 for a quarter acre property. So each month it would cost me $420. I'm going to times that by 6 months, and it comes to $25.20. And then we just talked about what we were going to pay our private lender. It's 15% interest, monthly interest on the property. So 175,000 times 15% divided by 12 comes out to $2187.50. That's per month, and then I got to times it by 6, comes out to $13,125. Okay, I'm going to add these up: the 1,200, 2520, 13,125, and I come up with 16,845 is my total holding costs. Okay, so then we're going to come down here. We're going to add in how we're going to sell this property. Usually, I'll just put out a few signs and stuff. But when I'm selling a property I just rehabbed, I'm usually getting I'm going to sell it through a broker friend on a flat fee listing. So I'm going to give him, normally, I pay him $300, and then I pay a closing, I pay a commission, or any realtor that brings a buyer to the property, I pay 3%. And then, of course, you got to have closing costs on top of that. So, I just add 3% closing costs, 3% commission. I come up with 15 grand. Okay? So we add that together, and we come up with 15,150. So if we add all of these lines up, we add set number 7, 11, 18, and 21 together, we come up with 52,585. Okay, that's our total cost to buy, fix, and sell this property. So let's come down here, add the total cost to the mortgage in the mortgage payoff. So my total costs are right up here, 52,585 that we just totaled up. I'm going to add that to my mortgage payoff. My mortgage payoff is $175,000. That's the mortgage I took out with my hard money lender, right? So we add that together. We come up with $227,585. My estimated profit is, I take my $227,585 minus what I'm going to sell this property for, or what I think this property is going to sell for or retail for when it's all fixed up and ready to go. And then I minus these two, okay? And the difference is my profit. So I come up with a difference of $22,415. Now, this could be a good figure for you. It may be really low for you. It may not even be worth doing. But these are the numbers that you need to know before you can make a realistic offer on a property. And if you do make an offer on a property, before you're doing these numbers, you can always come back and see, roughly what you're going to get out of this property. Now, you can increase this number easily by actually selling this property, not taking 6 months to fix this house and sell it. If you know you can get into this house and fix it up and sell it within 3 months, then you increase this profit. But I always try to look at the worst case scenario just in case. So if we take the cash requirements to buy, fix, and sell, we know what that is. Okay, we got that from our total costs. That's right here. Total amount, loans and mortgages on the property, that's the $175,000 that we got from our hard money lender. The retail value of what I think the property will sell for once it's fixed and sold is $250,000, and that actually has a 70% loan to value ratio right here. Okay, so I put that here, and that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, and like I said, if you want to get this sheet and just kind of use it yourself, you can go over to the link below this in the description, and then you can just copy and paste it to a Word doc and save it on your computer yourself. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below, and I'd be happy to answer them. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.